Okay, so I wanted to make a presentation about this because it we're going to be doing some cold outreach, obviously, to the SDR managers and to a recruiter. And if we don't get this step right, then we just end up being in the same pile of applications as everyone else. The whole idea and the whole reason this course exists and has been a success is because we have methods to cut the line, but we have to do it right. Meaning, we need to be very good about finding the right people, aka the SDR manager, and then disregarding everyone else. And I have coached dozens of clients on this at this point, and what always ends up happening is in their first go at it, they make a lot of mistakes. And I basically correct it and I help them understand that they have to find the SDR manager, no one else. And there's a lot of sales roles out there. There's a huge variety, and this variety is going to throw you off. It's going to confuse you. And so that's why I'm making this video, is because I want to hopefully make it more clear about who we're actually contacting and who we're disregarding. If it's not the SDR manager or the BDR manager or director level, so like director or head of sales development, then we don't want it. If it's any other title like senior sales manager or director of sales, those are the wrong people. If we email them, we're not going to cut the line. So we have to find the right people in order to cut the line. And so I've got a few profiles pulled up to drive this point home and bring clarity, because if you, again, though, if we do this wrong, it's almost like we should just skip this step entirely if we can't get it right. There's no value in getting to the wrong people, doing outreach to the wrong people. So I'm going to share a few slides here, a few different pages, um, just to give you some examples. So we found this person, Andong, and let's assume that in this role we are applying to this company called Sensor Tower. And so we are applying to the open BDR role or SDR role, same thing, and we're trying to find the BDR manager. So, based on this profile, would Ann be the right person? Yes, he is the right person. As you can see, team director of business development, that matches our criteria. We're looking for the BDR manager or BDR director, or SDR manager or SDR director. And he even tells us directly that he scaled and managed a team of over 12 BDRs. And boom. So he's explicitly telling us. And so here he is today as the director of business development. That is the right person. Here's another profile, Tio, head of business development. Let's look at his profile. Boom. Right person, head of sales and business development. It's all we're looking for. If he is that person, he is the right person. And as you can see, he did this before. He was the senior sales development lead at a prior company called Deal. And he says here, look, I had a team of 5 SDRs, and and I was even responsible for hiring more. So if we know in his current role he's the head of business development, we can stop right there. We already know he's the right person. But as further evidence, if you're ever unsure, take a look at their work history. This guy, again, was the senior sales development lead at a prior company, which leads us to believe that this is in fact the right person, because he has it all over his profile. Senior sales development team lead, promoted at a different company to the head of sales and business development. Let's look at this profile. Andrew Froning, Director of business development. Boom, right person again. And he also did in the past. If we look at his profile, and this is something you should be doing pretty much at every profile that you're looking at for potential outreach, is truly analyzing it, right? Looking at their description, look at what they say, how they talk about themselves. Sometimes you'll see that they're hiring and they'll post it in their activity. I believe Ann did that. Let me just go back to his tab. And so Ann right here, he posted an update a few months ago saying, "Look, I'm hiring." Anytime you see that, you know for a fact that they are the right person. So let's go back to Andrew's profile. And again, just as more proof, not that we needed it, but right here you can tell senior manager sales development. Right, this is the right person. Now, let me show you some bad examples of people who are not the right fit. Wakas, right? I have a student who decided that Wakas is the right person and he added him to his outreach campaign. And so if we look at Waka's profile, nothing here mentions that he is in charge. Nothing here mentions sales development or business development. Period. Already, that is the biggest red flag. That alone tells us this is not the right profile, and we could just exit out right now. However, just for the sake of this exercise, I want to show you because it actually explicitly mentions it in his profile what he's in charge of, and he says, "I manage 3 managers." And under those 30 managers, I oversee 30 reps, but really I manage 3 managers. So this guy isn't even managing a team of business development representatives or SDRs. He's managing managers at this point. He's so high up the chain that just further proves not the right person, absolutely the wrong person. Let's look at another profile, and then we'll do one more after this just to drive the point home. Zach. Is Zach the right person? So if we look at his history again, a student of mine did this. Okay, so director of sales, wrong contact. Nothing here says business development or sales development. So we know he's not the right person. As director of sales, you run into this profile all the time, and it sounds like he might be in charge of the SDR team, right? Director of sales, of course, he's in charge of sales, which means the SDR team is he manages the SDR team. This is the right person. Wrong. Again, director of sales, and you'll run into a lot of interesting sounding profiles and titles, but if it doesn't say director of sales development, manager of sales development, we got the wrong person. The director of sales is in charge of a team of closers in most cases, which is the account executives. So this is the wrong guy. Lastly, one more account, Elena. She, again, my student added this to his outreach campaign, and I was looking at it, and I'm like, why did you add Elena? And there's nothing here that indicates that this person is in charge of the sales development team or the business development team. So let's look into it further. Now, she was a business development assistant in the past, but that isn't manager. That's not a director. We're not here to talk to assistants. That's not how we cut the line. We cut the line by reaching out to the right people. And so, as you can see here, senior sales executive, top performer of a team of 12 people. She leads a full sales cycle, but nothing here says anything about leading a team of SGRs or BDRs. There's nothing in her profile that even remotely, you know, points in that direction. And so again, wrong person. And that's basically it. Look, I'm going to share this with you, but you should take a look at this spreadsheet and analyze the profiles. Study them. I want you to develop an eye for this. This is so important. We have to get this step right. There's no other way. So go ahead and study this and let me know if you have any questions.